Like like you're saying, like me learning about myself, learning about me and who I am logically dispels what society and culture has told the lies they've said.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, like my mind is turning to like a curiosity of about around if someone's in the heart triad or someone's in the body triad, if they use their body, their somatic feelings to say that's not true, or a heart triad to say that's not true. And for the head triad, especially a 5, to say, but when I think about that, there's a
Yeah.
conspiracy happening, and
Yeah.
here's what I know about myself. And if I think about that, this doesn't make sense. The math isn't mathing. And no.
I'm Kim.
And I'm Camille, and this is Enneagram for the Culture, where 2 dope Black therapists discuss how therapy, Blackness, and the Enneagram come together. Hello, friend. You're cracking yourself up.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be a fun day.
It is going to be a fun day.
How you feeling?
Feeling good.
Good. I'm excited. I'm gonna introduce our guest. I'm really excited to have her. Her name is Charlene Dyer. She is a licensed clinical mental health counselor, supervisor in North Carolina, and a certified personal trainer through the National Academy of Sports Medicine. Charlene grew up in the suburbs of St. Paul, Minnesota, and spent her summers in Detroit, Michigan. She attended the University of South Carolina, Spartanburg, where she received a bachelor's in experimental psychology, and went on to attend Webster University, where she received her master's in mental health counseling. She has been active in the mental health field for over 13 years, working in the community and outpatient settings with children, at-risk youth, young adults, adolescents, adults, the LGBTQ plus community, and a variety of religious, spiritual, and cultural backgrounds. She specializes in treating anxiety, depression, anger management, processing grief, and recovering from childhood trauma. She's been trained in the evidence-based practices of MST, multi-systemic therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, mindfulness, motivational interviewing, seeking safety, TFCBT, and EMDR. Charlene is so dope. She's a friend of mine, and she happens to work with me. Welcome, Charlene.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So great to have you.
Great to
I
be
just,
here.
again, I'm going to, I've said it on another episode. I love hearing our guests' bios. Like they always just like warm my heart. I try not to read them. If I'm not the one that's going to read it for the episode, I try not to read it so that I can receive it while Kim is reading it. And I'm like listening. I'm like, wow, 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 wow. Yeah, Charlotte, I'm so excited she's here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Camille, is there anything that stood out in her bio that is really representative of her type? You knowing that she's a 5.
Yeah, I mean, we have got a very deep and wide amount of information. Like there's a deep and wide amount of people that she works with and settings that she serves in: at-risk youth, adults, adolescents, the queer community, religious, spiritual, and cultural backgrounds. And she has a wide and deep level of trainings to help those very many different groups. I mean, we've got EMDR, we've got CBT, we've got motivational interviewing, we've got anything you want. She's got it. She's ready. She's not gonna skip a beat. She's got it in her toolbox.
Oh. Thank you, Fred. Exactly. I could not have said it better. That's why I had to ask you. Thank you. Knowledgeable. Yes, she knows her stuff.
Yes.
I try.
You do. Let's get into it. So who's going first? How did the Enneagram show up for you? This is one of our favorite parts.
Mm-hmm.
I can go. I think. You want me to go? I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
sure.
This week was just a really good week at work. And I mean, you're both therapists, that like check in at the beginning of the session where you're like, so how's it going? And your clients ask you how you are too.
Some of them. Yeah, some.
For me, it's always kind of like, I'm fine. Like I try to not, make it about me at all. Like we just keep it moving. But with this is the last session of the week. And I actually like thought about it and just shared that I was just feeling really like joyful and just proud. I just really just love what I do. I just really love being a therapist. And so I think that is pretty. I mean, it's a hope that I do have for like everybody, which may be a three thing. But I do think that that's pretty, representative of a three. I think, in a good place, like when you're really doing what you want to do because you want to do it. It made me think about just being grateful that I didn't get hung up on what people were saying about majoring in social work. I didn't get, I mean, it bothered me, but I didn't let it stop me from pursuing what I felt like was really on my heart to do. And it's just paying off in an amazing way to just be able to really love what you do every day, even when it's hard, because sometimes it is hard, but even when it's hard.
Absolutely. I co-sign. I feel so lucky and blessed. We sit with people all day, and a good amount of what people talk about is how much they hate their jobs. Like that is a popular topic in therapy.
Yep.
And of course, I'm, with the client, I'm sitting with them and I'm with them. But when I'm really thinking in my head, I'm like, I don't feel that way. Like, I genuinely, and it's like, I don't get Sunday scaries. I don't know if you guys do. I don't get them.
I used to, and I was a therapist.
That's right.
But it was because of where I was working.
Where is working. Yeah. That's right. But now I'm like, oh, it's Sunday. Tomorrow's Monday. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yep. Who do I have?
Yeah.
Right? Like, what's the week looking like? And what are we gonna talk? What are we gonna talk about? What do we gotta touch on? Yeah. What can I bring?
Sometimes in the middle of the week or middle of a day, I might get tired. Like I might be like, okay, I'm tired. But I don't ever feel like I hate this. Like I really rarely feel like that.
Yeah.
No, I definitely get tired like Wednesdays. And I told you Friday, like afternoons, like I'm just resting. But never like I don't want to be here. I hate this or I want this to ever.
But you're right. We have to be thankful for where we've been where we've been and where we are now, because you're right. There were Sunday scaries when I was in different settings and just hating it. And now I absolutely love it. So
yeah, both of you. That's how we know each other. Like we both worked at places where at some point, some Sunday, for me, I'm speaking for Kim.
And me too. Yes.
Dynamic was there. So
absolutely.
Look at his snap. Okay, somebody else go.
This is a detour, because of course that's what I do. When you were saying about sharing with your client, like, this is actually how I'm doing. And like, you were like, I'm going to do it today. Like, I'm going to say this thing. Something a stretch stone that I've been trying to do as a therapist is, and you guys might do this already, I will share, like, I'm almost like feel vulnerable saying it. It's not vulnerable at all. I will say, like, it was a pleasure I love meeting with you, or like, it's good to see you. Like, I never used to say that to clients, to be like, it's a joy to meet. There's most of my clients, like I just said, I love my job. Most of my clients, I'm excited for them to walk in. I'm excited to log in and be like, ooh, I'm seeing so-and-so. But I never say it. And I had a therapist that used to say it to me, and it felt so good. I was like, she likes meeting with me. And I was like, I need to start saying that to clients, because so much of our clients sometimes have a narrative of like, I'm wasting their time. They don't want to see, I'm just babbling my head off. They don't really care. And so I've really enjoyed trying to really be like, it's always a joy, or like, I'm so glad I'm seeing you today. Or, I had a client, it was my last session before vacation. And so she asked me how I was doing. I was like, you're my last session for vacation, and I'm excited it's you. Like I'm excited that you're my last session. I always love meeting with you, and I'm excited that I get to end the week with you. So that's been a growth edge for me, is to share that with my clients.
That's so sweet and special. And yes, vulnerable.
Yeah. I've been torn on going there because I don't necessarily want to reinforce like let's take meeting. And so I've been torn, but I'll do it sometimes, and other times I'm like, no, hey, how you doing?
Yeah. And I also think it depends on the client, right? Like, because we know if they're we know if what that message might be, or so I'll kind of, I try and use it sparingly. But it's also more than I ever did use it. So I'm like, okay, I can do that.
Yeah, it's cool to like evolve, grad school, like the programs, like a lot of that stuff. It's just cool to grow and evolve, You have to continue education, to continue to practice. And it's beautiful for even that to grow and evolve for who teaches and what we're trained on, for it to be more representative experience for Black people. And so much of oftentimes what we can get, or what I feel like I got in my program, was not necessarily centered in us and our experience. And so like we're saying, at times, to be able to show up and just be honest and be true, right? Be human. Like, it's very human for us to like people that we're connected with, right? Or enjoy talking to them, or spending time with them, or growing with them. And so to be able to, use our professional skills to determine when it's appropriate to share that and when it's not. But I think all of that can be why it can feel like kind of a stretch.
Because and for people that don't know, because what we were taught, what we're alluding to is that therapists aren't supposed to self-disclose, like, at all. Is what the mainstream teaching model is. That you're kind of supposed to be a blank canvas for the client. So even when Kim was saying, like, to say I'm actually doing well, or I'm actually having a joyful day, that would go against, in quotation marks, what the like general rule is. But like Kim is saying, like, as you individually evolve as a therapist, but then as the field has evolved, you can play with that more to say, I can share this, but I'm not going to share about, I've been crying in the last hour. Like, like you might reserve some stuff. And also you might share certain things with certain clients, knowing what they bring into the room. So
you learn how to use it. I mean, now we know, and I feel like social work, we did a pretty decent job of making this clear that self-disclosure can be used as a tool, the therapeutic tool. But it was like all of these like caution lights and red flags, and like using it if you're going to use it. And now, it just doesn't have to be this big scary thing, but it needs to be. And we ended, like, we're not new to this anymore.
Nope, we're not. No, Charlene's been doing this for 13 years. No, we just heard. So that was my detour, but I'll share my that probably should be my how the Enneagram showed up for me, was that I had a detour. My mind zipped somewhere else. My Enneagram showed up for me is tied to a couple episodes ago. Kim shared that she started watching Queer Eye. And I think you guys heard that I was like, oh, I love Queer Eye. Like, got all excited. And how the Enneagram showed up for me is all I want to do is talk to Kim about Queer Eye. I have to reserve texting you to be like, what episode are you on? What's going on? What's happening?
Oh, I should update you more.
And I have to like reserve being like, do you want this article on the boys? Do you want this article on the heroes from the other years? Do you want me to show you this Instagram account? And like how, like, you guys already know this about me. I love to share. And I love to share things I'm excited about. And when I get excited about it, I go ham. Like, I go so deep on all the things and then I want to share 25 things about Queer Eye with Kim. And I have to remember, she might not want 25 things on Queer Eye. She just wants one or two. She wants to also go at her own pace. She doesn't want to drink from the water hose like I do. So I have to like really sit on my hands and be like, you know what? She'll go on her own journey with Queer Eye and she'll let me know. And if she wants information, she knows where to turn. So hint, hint. If you would like to know about Jonathan Van Ness's ice skating career and gymnastics career, I can tell you about those things. Yeah, just let me know. Just let me know.
Another way this is showing up is because, one, your detours are great, and two, you're spot on. I typically would only want like one or two things, but with this, like, I'm so loving it. So we can bump that up to like 5, not 25, but like 5. And I have also thought about like texting you, like Karamo, like I see when we were talking Saturday, I see what you were talking about. He did start to get kind of like less about culture, more about kind of like a mental health.
I think he has a degree in social work.
Gotcha. But I thought about texting you, so I'll do better about it.
Thank you. But you're still loving it. Glad to hear.
Oh my gosh, I don't want to watch anything else. Like I've and it's getting to the point, we've talked about this before, where it's almost the binge, like I'm going to run out. And so I'm starting to feel like, okay, I got to find other stuff to watch because I don't want it to.
We've talked about this on Instagram. Will you start to slow down now to like preserve it? Yeah.
I'm going to try. I love it so much. It's so good.
It's good.
Really it good. Is super good. I've seen every episode, every single solitary one. Yeah.
Beautiful, like hour of humanity. Like it's just it's just beautiful, and it's funny and heartwarming, and they talk about good stuff. Like I've learned about certain issues that they talked about that maybe I had a view on, and then they talked. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that I see that differently now because I've learned. So yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Charlene?
So how did the Enneagram show up for me this week? Prepping for this.
Yes. Tell him because I loved watching it happen.
Yeah, my husband did not. So I was like walking a tightrope as far as how deep down this rabbit hole do I want to go as far as, prepping for this podcast. And so I did really well. I feel like I preserved a lot of my deep diving for last night. And then, it was midnight and I was like, okay, I've got to go to sleep because I eventually do have to wake up and talk about being a 5 and all this that I have going on up here. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So it was just turning, like, walk us through what was happening up there. Walk us through what's happening in your brain. If you're willing to share that vote of
So it was, like, okay, let me refresh as far as like what the books and websites and YouTube University says about the 5 and the wings. And I was just,
wow.
It was all encompassing. And I was like, yes, this is me. That's me as well. Oh yes. When I am nervous or feeling stressed, this is me. So yeah, there was a lot of that.
Like literal studying. Studying, yes. Yep. I'm not judging it. I wasn't judging. I'm sorry. I'm just naming that was you studying.
I have index cards. Yeah. yeah.
Can I share a time where I've seen it show up for you? Do you know?
Please.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about?
I do.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
Charlene and I were preparing. We were working together on a project at work. All right. And so we had a scheduled time to meet to share like what we've been working on, just to get on the same page and figure out what next steps need to be. Charlene hits me, I think the day before, kind of like something to the effect of, like, I don't know if I'm prepared. My immediate internal response is, oh my gosh, she's going to be like over prepared. We putting pressure on myself because I know I'm not like mine not prepared is like a legitimate. I've scheduled too much stuff and have not created enough time to actually like put towards this thing. So I'm really not prepared. So we come to our meeting. I got like my little notes literally in a Google Doc. Charlene comes.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
Poster board.
Oh my God.
With like notes, index cards on the poster board. Like, and it was like 5 or 6 different poster boards.
Wow.
Like different topic. Each
Wow.
point was a whole poster board. I was like, of course. So, by the way, friend, you're prepared. This is what this would be considered or classified as preparation. Yeah.
I'm it's someone who's in the head triad, Charlene. I am fascinated, impressed. I'm like, yes. Like, I'm like, what was on the poster boards? How did you map that out?
Everything.
Really have.
She was just picking it up. I was like, of course. I'm over here like, okay, Bob, this is great.
We love to see it. That is a great one. So yes, getting ready for this podcast was how the Enneagram showed up. My favorite part of watching on the outside of the thing was you emailed us last night about something. And then you emailed again to be like, okay, in my further research, I have realized that you need the bio now. And I was like, she's listened to episodes. She went and did listen to some old episodes to see what the format was so that she can make sure that we had the bio. I was like, that's what she did. That was some research.
Yeah, and you are absolutely right. Yeah.
We love it. So even though you went and did a little study sesh this week to refresh your memory, get yourself ready, prepared, I want to know, how did you originally learn of the Enneagram? What is sort of your Enneagram origin story of learning about this?
Actually from Kim. Kim, do you remember the first time you told me about the Enneagram?
Mm-mm. Not the first time.
Okay, so it was 2018 and I had just joined your practice like full time, or maybe I was part time at that time. And you had said, yeah, there's this thing and I'm really getting into it and I'm reading a lot about it. I'm learning, blah, 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 blah. Try it. And I tried it. And then I can't remember what my number was that first time. And then you came back and asked me about it. And you were like, Charlene, what did you think? And I was like, I don't know. And then I went back maybe a couple months later and did it again. And then I was like, okay, Charlene, there's no denying. You are a 5. Your core down to your bone marrow, you are a 5. So yeah, then I started reading about, the 5, and yeah, that's how it came to be in my, world, I guess you could say. So
it's amazing. So at first, do you think you landed on a 5 the first time and you were just, I don't know about this, and then you landed on it again and gave it another shot? Or did you?
I want to say I did not land on a 5 because I feel like it would have resonated.
Right.
So I think it was something else. And I was like, that ain't me. Mm-hmm. And then when I went back, I did go back, and the second time that I did the assessment, I was way more intentional about really reading each question and, really checking in with myself and what my accurate answer is.
Mm-hmm. Love that.
Yeah.
What do you know what made you go back? Do you remember like what made you curious about it again?
Maybe seeing the book on your desk, I think. Because you had this book.
The
I was
Essential
going
Enneagram.
into the office just on Saturdays. And yeah, like doing something at the computer. And I think I was like, let me try this thing again. And I did. And that's, how I ended up like really embracing being a 5 and kind of all that it stood for, if you will. So I was like, yep, this is me 100%.
Love that. Love that. Do you notice, like, do you think about your 5-ness a lot? Like, is it a tool that you think about, like, you're like, oh yeah, that's the Enneagram showing up there. Like, is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say at least like once or twice a day. I'm like, yep, that's some 5 stuff going on right there.
That's really cool.
Yeah. It's like my husband, he's very laid back, very go with the flow. And me, I'm like, we have to have everything figured out, planned out down to the minute. Like, we can't leave anything up for chance. No way. And I know I get on his nerves with it, but like, okay. Yeah. Okay. He's very agreeable in that sense. So it works well, as far as me and my 5-ness.
Oh, that's good.
That's one of our like favorite things about it is not just the awareness that it brings, like, for yourself, but in relationships, so being able to like kind of understand why a partner with those traits, and Dave, like why it works. And for him to be able to, if at any point he wanted to be able to understand why for you, like it's so important for things to be planned. So it's so cute. I didn't thought about it that much. Do you notice how it intersects with your Blackness?
Like me as a Black woman, I would say if anything, like as far as a 5, there is this element of observation and kind of knowing your surroundings. I would say with that, like, being Black in America, you kind of do have to know where you're at, where you're going, who's going to be there, what time we leaving, things like that, just from a safety standpoint. So I would say that would be the biggest piece of how me as a 5 intersects with being a Black woman.
For sure. For sure.
That makes a lot of sense. Those questions come naturally to you twofold, right? As a 5, but then also as a Black woman. I'm gonna ask questions and figure something out before I just walk into it blind. Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna be prepared.
Yeah, definitely.
Hi, Camille here. I hope you all have been enjoying season 3 as much as Kim and I enjoyed recording it. New this season that I wanted to share is that I will now be offering one-on-one Enneagram consultations. What that means is that if you have any specific and unique questions or curiosities related to the Enneagram, how it shows up for you, how you use it at work, in relationships, how you can use it for growth, or if you need some focused help on even learning your type, then we can meet for 90 minutes to answer those questions. I love doing these as I get to deep dive into your questions and provide you with custom and tailored answers that we get to discuss together. If you're interested, you can reach out to me via social media or in the show notes. You can find my email. I'm excited to get to meet some of you in this personal format and get to be a part of your Enneagram journey. Now, back to the show.
Do you remember getting that messaging as a child, Camille?
That was not a explicit conversation. That was a watched conversation. Like that was not, I don't remember I'm thinking being prepared, walking. First of all, I think that most of my family is self-preservation. So again, we just, what time is lunch? Who's going to be there? What time are we leaving? Is it hot, cold in here? How many people? Like we already are kind of naturally that way. And again, like, yeah, I don't know if and that might be the self-preservation, that might be the Blackness, that might be all of that. But again, we never had a talk about this is why you do that, or we need to do this. It just kind of it just happened. And it just was what I watched happen. My family tends to, like if there's a group, like if we walk into I don't know why I'm thinking about this, a dance. I don't know when we're walking into a dance. If we're walking into a dance, my family's going to observe on the outside first, kind of like who's here, what kind of music they playing, what do we like, where, like assess first. And again, that might definitely be the Blackness. But again, never talked about why, just what, and if I asked why, it probably would be like, well, because you might need to leave quickly, or like you might need, like, it might be that reason, but we didn't ever talk about it. I don't know. Did you guys have a talk about that, or was it saying it was just watched?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't remember a conversation. I don't remember this is how we do this or this is how to handle this. But I definitely remember feeling conditioned to do that. And to this day, for the most part, if it's an unfamiliar area, unfamiliar people, yeah, I'm gonna just I'm gonna scope out this, the situation, who's in the room, who's saying what, right? And then I'll determine, how long I'm gonna be there, probably. Or who, if I'm gonna try to like connect with people, who that's gonna be. Definitely where the food is.
Where it is, what it is, who cooked it.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that is interesting. Sure. And think about how that learned behavior that was just passed on to us, conditioned into us. Think about how that shows up, like for a kid walking into a classroom,
right?
Or someone who just, and it's like, oh, you're really shy. Or like, I think about sometimes even still when I go into trainings.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I'm not going to jump in the middle of the circle right away, or I'm sussing this out a little bit. And we can have and so other people can have an opinion about, oh, she just hangs back, or she's kind of quiet, or this little boy isn't raising his hand or anything. It's like, I'm trying to see who's here.
Yeah.
It was stuck up for me. I got labeled stuck up. I was just trying to figure out. I was just observing first. But yeah, that was a quick label. Stuck up. Nobody ever even would offer that I was shy, but I do think that was a big element of it too. And when I finally started to, realize, have that language to tell people that I was kind of shy, people were like, really? I wouldn't have thought that. But yeah, I think we're talking about like feeling safe, like making sure this space, like it feels like it's a safe space to show up in, which is I feel a very common narrative and experience for Black people, especially in this country.
And safety is physical and emotional too. Yeah. So is this emotionally safe for me to share? Yeah, all of that. That is such a great point, Charlene. And again, like as being a 5, you already do that, and then layer it with race. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was very, very conditioned to like the conversation in our household growing up. I think because, my dad has some trauma from his early 20s that he for sure was like, don't do this. So I'm growing up in Minnesota, the suburbs of Minnesota or St. Paul. And in my graduating class, I would say maybe there were 10 Black children, maybe 20 kids of color. So like Asian, Hispanic, Black, out of 400 or so.
Wow. Wow.
So very, not diverse at all.
Yeah.
And so we were told on a daily, like, watch your back, don't say nothing, don't get out of line, better act right, this, that, and like, because you are being watched. That was for sure, very drilled home while I was growing up. So I think that for sure led to me being very withdrawn. I'm like, let me just sit over here.
Yeah.
Don't raise too many eyebrows. Don't ruffle up too many feathers. I was still kind of the class clown a little bit. So my parents got calls every once in a while. But you can't contain that all the time. So yeah, I had my moments for sure. But yes, for the most part, I was very reclusive and still very much am.
Yeah. That's yeah. That's an interesting story and like experience and how that shaped you. And how God, and generational stuff, how your dad's experience shaped you. That's
Yep.
interesting. Well, speaking of that, that's actually a perfect segue. What is a hope that you have for Black people around growth work, whether it is around the Enneagram, any type of personal development? What's your hope that you have for us, and both individually, like on an individual level, but then also culturally, macro level, as a collective?
I think as I've gotten to know myself through the Enneagram, I like the picture that comes to mind is that kind of being caged in, and after reading this and learning about myself, things I already knew, but just embracing them and acknowledging these are the ABCs of me, it felt very freeing. So I think, as a collective for the community, that is what I would hope for us is that, we're like told not to believe certain things, like we're gaslit so much as Black people.
Yeah.
And, just being able to know yourself 10 toes down, this is who you are, and embracing it, and then going out and representing, living in that way. So that would be my hope for everybody. Yeah.
That's so powerful. When I think about that happening for us, it's an empowering feeling, and I definitely get emotional, gives me chills. It also makes me, it gives me clarity. I feel like I see better like why some of the things that are happening are happening. There's I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I feel like there's absolutely, going back to Black people being gaslit so much, there's kind of an agenda to like keep us out of touch with who we really are, to keep us confused about who we are, and believing these things about us that are just not true. For example, that we're all violent. Just picking just if obviously, like, if we were to figure out how to not fall for lies and 10 toes down, knowing who we are, that's some powerful stuff. And
it is.
I can understand, learning more about the true history of this country, why that can be so scary for some people. So we gotta not fall for that.
Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. No. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
like where my mind is going is I like that as a 5, you can come at that logically. Like like you're saying, like me learning about myself, learning about me and who I am logically dispels what society and culture has told the lies they've said.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, like my mind is turning to like a curiosity of about around if someone's in the heart triad or someone's in the body triad, if they use their body, their somatic feelings to say that's not true, or a heart triad to say that's not true. And for the head triad, especially a 5, to say, but when I think about that, there's a conspiracy happening, and here's what I know about myself. And if I think about that, this doesn't make sense. The math isn't mathing. And no.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. We can practice that, right? So those of us in the heart triad, like when we can recognize that some stuff is coming up and it's an opportunity for us to check in and be like, okay, like what's the truth here? Check in with your heart. Body types, check in with your body, head
That's
types,
right.
kind of check in and ask yourself, like, does this make sense? Like logically,
Logically.
Because I think you're right. I think absolutely. Like, I know that that's true for me, being a heart type, like learning to be able to look to my heart and trust what's there as a source, as a way to connect with myself and not get hung up in, for example, what people think or what people say or what people see. Yep.
Yeah. I'm thinking about my journey with learning about the conspiracy theory. It was a logical thing. It was me learning history and me learning, wait a minute, they've been doing this for centuries. Like it was a logical, it was a lot. And almost like, again, the way that I talk about like Queer Eye, where I like, or go down in this deep dive with the Enneagram, where I'm like, okay, let me find all the information. I'm like flipping through all the books. And I'm like, what did I miss? Like, it was a logical journey of like, hold up. There's something that there's a message being sent for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Freedom. So yeah, your hope was freedom for us to be able to know the truth of who we are. Yeah.
Yeah. And embrace it and just fully live it and express it. Yeah. Definitely.
I love that cage imagery that's up for you. It was one of the ways I was taught to like approach the Enneagram is we're not trying to figure out what our type is to figure out who we are, because we're not our type. So our type is actually the cage. So when you can know how your type shows up and like, again, what those motivators are, so why it's showing up, then you can choose to either stay in there, because as we've touched on, sometimes, especially as Black people, it's safer to be in there. Yeah, and depending on, where you are and what the space is. But when it is safe and when you want to, you don't have to be in the cage. So can you tell us, are you comfortable sharing your relationship with therapy, Charlene? We like to talk about Black people and therapy.
Yeah, I've gone through therapy a few times. It was very situational. So, at the very start of the pandemic was one time when I was a kid, we did like family therapy. And then I did therapy again in my 20s, well, early 30s, late 20s. I was at a job that I could not stand. My hair was falling out. I had back issues all of a sudden.
Mm.
And, the therapist was like, "You're depressed." And I was like, "Oh." And then I quit the job a few months later. I was like, it was 100% brought on. Well, it was brought on 90% by the job. 10% I was living in Detroit, Michigan proper, and we just did not mesh well. Even though that was where my parents born and raised. And I, still go back on about once a year. But to live there, I just could not do it. So, yeah, so I left and came back down in these parts, Southeast. So that was a time that therapy really like propelled my life forward.
Right.
And then at the height of the pandemic, I just needed somebody to talk to. When it first, like May 2020 was awful.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I needed an outlet then. And then again, I guess maybe a year ago, I worked with a therapist then as well. So yeah, it was very situational, short-lived, but extremely helpful at each time. So
I really like actually you normalizing that like therapy can be situational and it can be kind of like spot treatments
mm,
of okay, we're going to focus in on this. It sounds like we're going to focus in on this issue. This is what's going on. Great, great, great. We're done. And then do you go to a different therapist or have you stuck with the same one or
yeah, different therapists each time.
just
Hmm.
switch it up? Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. And I think if I were not a therapist, I probably would go back to the same therapist. But because I am a therapist, I'm like, let me see if somebody else's perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I would totally understand the comfort level in continuing to work with the same person.
Mhm. Mhm. I kind of like that the pros and cons. I mean, there's
Hmm.
to switch seeing if someone has a different perspective like you're saying. Then there's the comfort of having the same person. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It sounds like your type again. It's almost like, yeah,
Oh.
or all these freaking trainers you got. It's like being able to appreciate a different experience, more information. I mean, we talk
Hmm.
about
That's right.
therapy like it's a two-way thing that's happening, and that's not something that's always normalized. But yeah, as the clinician, we show up and we're like labeled as this expert, but those of us who really know what we're doing, we know that we're not. We know that the client is actually the expert. And so as much
Right.
as we have, trainings and experience to offer, it's our client who's going to be doing a lot of the teaching. And so to be able to learn. So you being a client, going to different clinicians, like that gives you the opportunity to have that two-way kind of exchange
Mm.
information
Mhm.
Yeah.
from different people.
Hmm.
With those different experiences, Charlene, has there ever been, or what? I'm sure there has not. Has there ever been? What is a gem that you have received from therapy that recently or ever that has stuck with you and really kind of still sits with your spirit?
Um, so when I did therapy in May 2020,
Mm-hmm.
there was a homework assignment that I was given. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it led me into, which Kim knows this as well. I love quotes. And there was a quote assignment, and from there it really went into hyperdrive. So now I have this being Mary Jane type of wall with a bunch of post-it notes and quotes right here, always ready as needed. So like the gems of the quotes, they really resonate with me. So
Wow. Tell me more about this wall. I mean, I'm curious. So do you read it like, because sometimes I'll put post-it notes up and then I don't look at it anymore, so I forget about it. So do you like have a ritual of stopping and looking at the wall? Do you add stuff regularly, change stuff up? Like tell me more. Tell us.
all of that.
Okay.
All of that. My clients know they're going to get a quote probably once a session. If I see a quote, so I haven't been on Instagram or social media for a while because it was just very dysregulating for me. So the quotes have slowed down a bit because I was getting a lot of them from there, but I've got a pretty good stockpile. Yeah, so I draw from them on a daily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like y'all want to hear like a top?
Yes.
No, we do.
Do we want it? I am ready.
No, we do.
So the ones that resonate the most, James Baldwin, how does it go? Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. That's definitely my number one. There's another, oftentimes we suffer more in imagination, than in reality. I love that one. And then a newer one is this Oprah quote. I love Oprah.
Of course.
And she said, the whole point of being alive is to become the person you were intended to be, to grow out of and into yourself again and again. Yeah. So those are definitely my top three. There's more.
I love that. And that started from a homework assignment from a therapist.
It was kind of already going because like when I was in the office, I would give a quote for the week or whatever. But that homework assignment, it just helped me so much to the point where it became a thing. It became a rabbit hole that I started to go down, and I started seeking out quotes, just things, words that hit home for me. So, yeah.
Love that. Thank you for sharing those three quotes too. I really liked each of them.
Yeah.
I like each of them too. I love that James. I have that same James Baldwin quote.
Okay. Yep.
So, and that's one of the things I love about Queer Eye is the quote.
They do have quotes.
Yeah. That's another. Yes. Wonderful.
I love quotes too. Yeah. Thank you for sharing, Charlene. Okay. So you let us know that, you're not really out there on social media. So if people want to find you or want to, maybe they want you to be their therapist.
Oh God. Charlene's like, I don't know if I want people to find me. And that can be your honest answer.
That can be your truth, sis. That can be your truth.
Your authentic answer. And we'll be like, that's right. That's right.
And honestly, that kind of is why I'm off of social media. However, because I do want to grow out of, the confinedness of the 5, I can be reached by email.
Yes.
Hey, we'll put your email in the show notes if y'all want to drop Charlene a note.
Yes. Tell her how you love the episode. Tell her, give her, you know what? Email her a quote. Email her a quote.
Yes, I would love that.
Yeah. Yep. Please email her a quote, one of your favorite quotes. I hope, listeners, if you do not blow up Charlene's email with quotes, I'm going to be disappointed. I'm going to be very disappointed.
Yeah.
Because she said she's not on social media anymore. So the quotes have been slowing down. So this is our ask. This is our ask is to help Charlene with her quote wall. And I need you to email her some quotes.
Please.
Oh, that's so kind.
Yes. My email, Charlene, CHARLEENE Lene at thereesecollective.com.
Charlene said, I'm going to get these. I'm going to get those quotes. I do want those.
Please send them. Yes.
We'll have them.
I love that.
Well, we've done it. How do you feel?
I feel good.
Oh, nice to have you.
It was nice to be invited. I appreciate it.
If y'all could see our faces, we're literally all three just with these big smiles on. My cheeks hurt. My cheeks hurt from smiling. Because this has just been such a sweet time together. I've really appreciated getting to know you and hear from you and your wisdom. And thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing so honestly and vulnerably, and your preparation on point.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Thank you again. Yeah.
She was dope.
I enjoyed it.
Well, we enjoyed you. We hope y'all enjoyed it. And that would be a wrap. So we'll see you around.
See you on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.